Okay, wir fangen dann trotzdem mal an. Also ich werde heute eventuell das eine oder andere auf Englisch sagen, jetzt nochmal für die zu Hause. Wir haben heute internationales Publikum aus Paris und Rüttenscheid und aus Finnland? You're from Finland or? Yeah, yeah. So one person doesn't understand any German, so I'm gonna say some things in English. Hello. Oh, Agnes. Nee. Come here and show your new haircut. Turn around. Einmal umdrehen. Aha, guck mal. Short hair. Very nice. Ja, so ist das, wenn man zu spät kommt. Ja. So let me do the first speech in English. I just got a text message, or an hour ago or so, I got a text message from Britta from Essen-Schönebeck. And she said, well, I need yoga so desperate need tonight because I'm so angry and I just need some ventil or something to let off some steam, because I was at an IKEA tonight, also bei IKEA, and there were announcements that there's a little dog in some car trunk, and that the person, the owner of the car, needs to go to the car and get the dog out because it's hot outside. So it took really several, not minutes, a long time. And when she got out, there was already like the fire department and the police trying to free the little dog. And it was really a little, like a Welpe, like a puppy dog. And that made her so angry that some people are so, not, gosh, it's hot and so little, was heißt denn nochmal aufmerksam, achtsam, what? Thoughtful, and was heißt denn mein Gott, Achtsamkeit? Mindful, so unmindful, so to say. Yeah, and well, what came from this behavior was a reaction in her, and that reaction was like anger, something really, something that grew and created heat, so to say, in the inside. And there's an explanation, or there's this thing like this in yoga philosophy as well. And anger or strong aversion, also eine starke Ablehnung gegen etwas, is one of the so-called kleshas. And then the kleshas are, are hindrances, or as the Tantra yogis would say, challenges that make us, or that could make us think, and then transform one of these energies into something bigger, something that makes our lives richer, or more thoughtful, or more loving or kind. And aversion is one of it. And the other ones are like an overbig ego, or too much attachment to something as well. So when we find some of these kleshas in our lives, we can try to sit down and recognize them, and then turn them into something that gives us like a fuel, also so den Antrieb, to change something, or to do a better action ourselves. So if you sit down and close your eyes and deepen your breath, and deepen your breath in a way that makes you feel a little less engaged, less, or more calm, more peaceful. And this is how we usually start our classes. And then remember, if you will, some situation, also erinnere dich an eine Situation, where you felt a lot of aversion, also wo du viel Abneigung gegen etwas oder gegen eine Person oder eine Situation gefühlt hast. Ich sage bewusst Abneigung als so relativ neutralen. So aversion as a quite neutral expression. So it could be rage or being angry or hating somebody or hating the way things turn out at the moment or in your past. And if you can't find anything, just imagine a little dog lying in a hot trunk of a car in the sun. And connect to this feeling or to a feeling that arises when you remember a situation like this. So maybe it's just a heartbeat going up or some bunch of thoughts going around. There should be more movement in your, in your body, in your energy body than usual, or could be. If it's in thoughts or in heat or in feelings. And then just imagine this more movement as just some form of energy, quite neutral. So let go of the issue and of the situation. Just take this feeling of being aroused, being concerned or engaged with something, and take it all the way down into your lower belly. Engage your lower belly muscles. And use this as a fuel, also als Treibstoff, Benzin for your muscles to engage and stabilize your spine. And then take a deep breath in, and exhaling, fold your hands in front of your heart, in front of your yoga heart, yogi heart, that place that wants to transform bad feelings, in Anführungszeichen, into something that is more helpful, more uplifting, more calm, more happy. So for this class, set the intention to use energy as fuel to transform something. Soften your heart, but keep your belly very strong. And then exhale together and inhale for a first Om. exhaling, lower your hands. And then open your eyes again and directly come into your all fours, please. Alle Viere. Schreibt noch irgendjemand irgendwas? Okay. Klappt auch in Englisch gut. Sehr gut. Vertieft den Atem hier. Deepen your breath here. And then engage through all your finger pads, all 10 finger pads and your hands, and claw your mat. Really create a strong connection to your mat and to the place you want to practice. And then inhaling, lift your chest up, lift your sit bones. And exhaling from your core, push down through your arms and round your back. Let your head drop softly. Inhaling, lift your heart up. That's cow pose. And exhaling, a strong cat pose. So keep on going. And even though your arms and your hands are quite strong and engaged, and your core is strong and engaged, keep your breath or maintain a soft and steady, full breath. And even try to make the breath a little more softer, so to say. So even though you breathe in Ujjayi breath, try to make it as quiet and peaceful as possible. 2 more times. And then come back to the place in the middle. So sit bones slightly lifted, but core very strong. Step 1 foot back. Inhaling, claw your fingers even more and push your hands towards one another. And then bring the other leg there as well into a strong plank pose. Inhale here, soft eyes. And exhaling, lift your hips up and push back into downward facing dog. Okay, inhaling, come forward and keep a very soft face and a soft breath. Exhaling backwards into downward facing dog. So we just transfer between plank and downward facing dog. And let's just try to look at the way our breath maybe changes during the times we come forward or go back. And practice to maintain a really calm and peaceful breath, even though our arms and our belly and the whole body is working. 2 more times. And then stay in downward facing dog. Inhale deeply here. And exhaling, walk forward and take a bow. Verneig dich nach vorne. So let your head drop. Before we go on, spread your toes and then push your toes down. Lift your arches up, make your legs strong. Make this the fuel to lift the sit bone even up higher. Also mit der Kraft der Beine hebt die Sitzhöcker noch mehr nach hinten und oben an. And exhaling, engage your core. Spann den unteren Bauch wieder fester an. Let's maintain this and then slightly lift the heart and the head. Halbe Vorwärtsbeuge, Adha Uttanasana. And exhaling, bow in. Verneig dich nach unten. 2 more times. Inhaling, strong legs. But soft heart moving forward and downward. 2 more times from now on. With the next exhale, step back with your right foot. Inhale, straighten your back knee, fuel up your legs and pull them together. Also wieder viel Feuer jetzt in die Beine bringen, hochziehen bis zum Becken. With this fuel, lift your sit bones up so that your lower back can hollow a little bit, and then lift the heart up as well. Inhale deeply here, and exhaling, push down with your toes, with your feet, and stretch out through your head even a little more. So even though it's a small pose, make it quite big and bigger than it was before. Inhaling, bring your hands down, and exhaling, step forward, Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, exhaling, left foot back. So it's not just standing on the legs, it's getting the fire going, so to say. So spread your toes, push them down, and then engage your legs. Spann die Beine rundherum an, pull them together and all the way up into your belly. And with this fire in your belly, lift your sit bones up a little more, and then stretch out through your feet down into the ground, and then up all the way through your spine and your crown. Big inhale. Exhaling, Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, bow. And now bring your hands to your hips, lift your shoulders and your head. Push down into the ground to come up, lift your arms up. And exhaling, strong legs, but soft heart, hands in front of your heart. Inhale here. And exhaling, hands between next to your hips. Inhaling, lift up, lift your arms up. Exhaling, bow forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhaling, step back all the way into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. Exhaling, stay here. So let's get the fire moving a little bit. Bring your knees down, inhale. And exhaling, lower down into a baby chaturanga. So keep your shoulders wide, bend your elbows. And inhaling, come back up. Yes, baby chaturanga. Do this 2 more times. Exhaling, lower down. Inhaling, push down, come up. One more time. Great. Straighten your knees, lift your hips, push back into downward facing dog. Feel the muscles of your arms working. Keep your breath, your heart soft. Inhaling, look up. Exhaling, walk forward and bow. Bow in, strong legs. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, Uttanasana. Inhaling, come up, push down. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Whole Uttanasana, as I usually say in German. Inhale here. Exhaling, hands between your hips. Inhaling, push down. Now rise up even a little higher. Stretch out, exhaling, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, plank pose, bring your knees down. Inhale here, claw the floor. And exhaling, baby chaturanga and hold. Okay, push your knees down, push your hands down, bring your shoulders back. Inhale deeply. And exhaling, lower slowly all the way down to the ground. Keep your arms engaged, straighten your knees, inhaling cobra. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here. Feel the heartbeat going. Maybe some sweat on your armpits or somewhere else. That's just a result of moving. Or menopause. Kleiner Scherz. Inhaling, look up. Exhaling, walk forward. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana. Lift your sit bones. Keep them lifted. Exhaling, Uttanasana. Hands to your hips. Lift shoulders and head. Push down, come up. Stretch up. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Let's go. Inhaling, move up. Exhaling, bow in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, plank pose. Keep your knees straight. Okay, here we go. Just plank. Come back up, Atmas. Up. Yeah. Good. Okay, what we do with knees down, we're going to do with straight arms. So try to do a full chaturanga and hold it for 1 breath. Inhale first. Exhaling, move forward and down. Inhale here. And exhaling, lower down. Great. Inhaling, cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Good. So maybe there isn't enough strength to hold a full chaturanga. with straight knees. So maybe for the rest of this class, the knee down option is the good choice for you to build more strength and to transform energy within your body, like in a clever, in a skillful way. Inhaling, look up. Exhaling, walk forward. Inhaling, lift halfway. Exhaling, bow in. In, come all the way up. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Inhale here. Exhaling, hands next to your hips. One more round. Inhaling, push down, rise up. Exhaling, fold from your hips. Halfway up. Exhaling, chaturanga, hold. Inhale. Good. Exhale. In cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. So with the next inhaling, lift your chest up, let your eyes follow, and exhaling, walk forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart, and then next to your hips. Shift your weight over to your right leg, and then hold the left knee. Spread your toes. Inhale deeply. Exhaling, relax your eyes and your jaw and the area around your heart. And then just imagine pulling up from your feet all the way. Engage your muscles to the pelvis, to the lowest belly, so to say. And from this place, push down so that your heart can lift up a little more and your head can lift up a little more. Bring your heel into your buttocks, so really pull your heel towards your butt. Yes, as much as possible, and push the right foot down. Good, then lift the arms up. Try to keep this. Yes. And exhaling, hands towards your heart, bend the standing leg, and then just lean forward a little bit and lift this bent leg up a little bit. Straighten your arms forward, so you don't need to be parallel to the floor. It can be just a diagonale. Inhaling deeply. And exhaling, push back with your left foot, find the floor, and then stand up, so to say. Bring your knees to, bring your feet together, pull your feet together towards the midline and up all the way into the pelvis. And from this place, push down, lift your heart up even more, lift your head up, bend the knee deeply, and reach out. Inhaling, both hands down, and exhaling, downward facing dog. So same side again. Lift your left leg up, and then roll your hip open to the left side and bend this knee, bend the left knee. So try to pull your heel against the butt again. Now we're going to do circles. Try to engage in your knee pit, Kniekehle. Versuch mal in der Kniekehle richtig fest zu bleiben. But circle your whole left leg around underneath you and out to the side for a few times. Also das linke Bein so ein bisschen rumrollen, aber versuch die ganze Zeit den Unterschenkel an den Oberschenkel rangezogen zu halten. One more time. Good, and then bring it underneath you, also unter euch. Lift your chest up a little bit, bring your shoulders above your wrists, and pull the knee and your heel in. Richtig feste ranziehen. Inhaling, and exhaling, bring the left foot forward. Turn the right foot out, here, perpendicular. Oh, I haven't said that word in a while. Quer zur Matte, hinten den Fuß. And bring your right arm up into Parshvakonasana. So just like you did with the free leg moving around, pull the front heel back towards your left buttocks. Versuch die vordere Ferse, als wolltet ihr die zum rechten Sitzhöcker hinziehen. And then bring the sit bone, the left sit bone, down towards the heel as well. Towards the heel. Inhale deeply. And from or with this engagement in your left leg, try to push down even further, a little further into the ground, even into your left foot, and then stretch out a little more. Try to keep the front leg really, really engaged. Inhaling, right hand down. Lift the right heel up. And then take your right hand out to the side and roll onto your right outer side of the right foot for Vashisthasana. Lift your heels up strongly. Engage the right hand on the floor and then lift your left knee up, linkes Knie ein bisschen nach oben in den Raum. Pull your left foot in. Zieh die linke Ferse an den Po heran. And then bring your left arm up. Inhale deeply. And exhaling, left foot forward again. Right foot follows, Uttanasana. Straighten the knees more and fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, bow. Inhaling, come up. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Weight again on, also das Gewicht wieder auf den rechten Fuß. Linker Fuß nach oben. Zieh die Ferse ran, bring das Knie nach außen, knee to the side, and then bring the foot in for Vrikshasana. So try to maintain the same engagement in your left leg, like you did when you moved the leg around. Even make the knee pit, hier, das ist die Kniekehle, noch fester. Ja, spann hier richtig fester an. And then push your legs together and pull all the way up into your pelvis. And from this place, push down, lift your heart up even more so that you can reach higher. Inhaling, bring the knee forward, hands to your heart. Exhaling, step back with your left foot, high lunge. Inhaling, lift your arms up. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, come forward, straighten your knees if possible. Exhaling, chaturanga, hold. And lower down. Cobra, straight knees. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Engage both legs as if you wanted to kick yourself into the butt with both legs. Spread your toes. And then pull up from your feet all the way up the legs into your pelvis. And with this fuel, this fire in your pelvis, lift your sit bones even a little higher. Maintain fire and engagement in your legs, but straighten your knees. Sit bones up, legs engaged all the way up to the buttocks. Den Po auch noch mit anspannen. Straighten your knees more. Inhaling, look up. Exhaling, walk forward. Uttanasana, strong legs, fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, come back down. With strong legs, push down so you can come up. Exhaling, hands to your heart and weight on your left foot. Ist richtig, ne? Gut. Bring rechts nach oben. Grab your knee. And pull the knee in. So now you have a free foot, free right foot. Spread your toes. Spread your toes on your standing foot and pull all the way up into the pelvis. And just stay here a little while and feel, connect to this power in your pelvis. And with this power, move your thighs back a little bit. Push your thighs back and lift your sit bones a very little bit. So that there's a nice curve in your lower back. In addition to this, engage your core muscles. And then push down and rise up even more. Pull the heel into your butt. Zieh die Ferse richtig ran. Ja, richtig ranziehen. So that you're close to a cramp. Nah am Krampf, okay? Lift your arms up. It's not a very nice feeling in the leg, is it? Can you pull up the Knie, Ferse ein bisschen höher ziehen, Bettina? Ja, zieh die Ferse fest ran. It's not very nice, but let's use this power to then even push down and reach up higher. Okay, lean forward, bend your standing leg, strong core, very, very funny pose, very funny pose. Straighten the back knee, find the mat, and then the high lunge. Okay, even though the back leg is straight now, engage it, straighten the knee, and that's the front muscles that get engaged too. So straighten, but pull in and up all the way into your pelvis, and then reach down from your hips down to the ground. Really push your feet down, and then lift the heart up, lift your head up, even lift your arms up more. Inhaling, hands down. Spin the back heel down. Dreh den hinteren Fuß quer, and then Parshvakonasana. Is that the same side? How did this happen? Haben wir zweimal das Bein auch rangezogen, das gleiche Bein genommen? Auch im Standbein gerade? Wie kommt das denn? Das will jetzt hier das nochmal. Okay, so move around into a, what is Grätsche? Grätsche. Split, side split or something like this? Yeah, it's a good pose in between. So
wide-legged forward fold. Wide-legged.
What is it?
It's a wide-legged forward fold.
Oh, it's a wide-legged forward fold, she said. Thank you, Julia. So bend your knees a little bit and engage your legs, just like you did in Uttanasana, or when you wanted to pull up your heels towards your butt. And with this engagement in your legs, lift your sit bones a little higher. But keep a strong core, starker Bauch. And then exhaling, bend over, but maintain strength in your legs. So it's even a safer place to use some energy, some engagement before we stretch out. So maybe this engagement is sometimes probably the little push we need for more skillful actions or for actions at all. If we're just in our comfort zone, then probably there won't be any transformation, any change that might need to be done. So with strong legs, pull up all the way into your pelvis, lift your sit bones, strong belly, and exhaling from the pelvis, root down through your legs, and then down through your crown, out to your shoulders and arms, soft heart, soft skin. Inhaling, lift up halfway. And exhaling, turn your right foot out for Parshvakonasana on the other side. Okay, strong legs. Try to move your front heel back. So if you wanted to kick yourself into your right buttocks now. That brings the knee further forward. Das bringt das Knie mehr nach vorne übers Sprunggelenk, above your ankle. Right. And then push your heel down, your right heel down, until you feel more power in your right buttocks. Bis du mehr Anspannung im rechten Po. So pull your right sit bone down towards your heel. And with this power, push down and then out through your arms, heart and head up or out. In Parshvakonasana, big pose. Inhaling, come back to center. Lift the left heel up and step out with your left hand and come onto the outside of your left foot. So here we go. Hips up, shoulders strong. Lift your right leg up. Oops. Just for a moment, pull your heel in. Great. Come back into plank pose, lifted right leg. Pull the leg into your chest, the heel into your butt, or towards your butt. And then step forward. Bazinga. Good. Inhaling, come up. High lunge. Exhaling, push down, reach up. Where is everybody? Everybody's gone. Inhaling, hands down. Exhaling, Uttanasana. Switch legs, bring your right foot back and come into a wide-legged forward fold. Yes. Straighten your knees completely. Come to your fingertips. Lift your heart and your sit bones up, straight knees if possible. And now push your kneecaps or push your knee joints back into the back of your kniekehlen, knee pits. Is it knee pit? Kniekehlen? Or whatever. You know what I mean. Just really, really push the joints back until you feel a stretch in the back of your knee. And then do the opposite. Bend your knee, your knees, plural, and try to engage in the back of your knee. Versuch die Rückseite deines Knies anzuspannen, die Kniekehlen anzuspannen. So with the power in the back of your knees, lift your sit bones more, Sitzhöcker höher, engage your core. And with the power in the back of your knees, straighten your knees. But don't over straighten. So still feel this little leftover engagement, the remembrance of the full power on the backside of your knees. Inhale and exhaling, bow forward. So when we just push our knees back, all integration in that joint is gone, and we're just hyperextending the knees, and that's not very helpful and very healthy. So by bending the knees and exaggerating, also übertreibend, Knie beugen und anspannen, that might help you with remembering this power you have in your legs when you bring more balance to it, when you try to straighten even more. So if you want, bend again and engage more. Lift your sit bones higher. And then maintain or remember as much as needed as you straighten the knees. And you'll find yourself in a bigger stretch than you were before, right? Hinterher, nachdem wir alles angespannt und wieder gestreckt haben und nochmal angespannt und gestreckt, sind wir tiefer in der Stellung oder die Dehnung ist größer geworden. And that's what we want. We want transformation or growing. Inhaling, lift up halfway, and then move back to the front of your mats into downward facing dog. Inhaling, come forward. So we're going to extend the hips now, exhaling chaturanga and bellies, onto your bellies. So now straighten your knees and push your feet down. Inhale deeply, soften your heart and your gaze, your head, your face, your breath. But with strong legs, pull your legs together a little more and into your hips. Also zieh die Beine richtig zur Mittellinie und hoch bis zum Becken. And instead of lifting your sit bones more, now pull your sit bones back towards your heels and push your pubic bone, also Schambein, more down into the ground. So let this be the action we need now for a safe back bend. Strong legs, pulling towards the midline, and then a strong core. And exhaling, come up. So maybe you feel your legs losing strength. Maybe your shins move out, or your knees bend, or your belly drops. And then come back down a little bit. And just remember the fire in your legs you used to create when it was easy. So straight knees, pull towards the midline, up into the pelvis, strong core. Maintain this, remember this as you come up. Lift your chin up, push your head back, and then with strong legs, just no, stay down. Just need to come up, otherwise I can't speak. So with strong legs and a strong core, just allow your heart to soften a little bit forward so that you can even deepen your back bend. And then lower down. Push up into plank pose and into downward facing dog. So bring your left knee down and right foot forward for runner stretch. Bend the front knee. Push your heel down and pull it in isometrically without moving. Pull it towards your right buttocks. And then turn the right leg in a little bit. Also dreht den rechten Oberschenkel etwas ein. And lift your right sit bone up a little higher to the side. So try to keep pushing down, pulling in, and rolling the leg in. So this is a good place for the hamstrings, für die Beinrückseiten, to get a little straighter. If they're safe when they're engaged and the leg is internally rotated. So try to straighten the knee without hyperextending the knee, just like we did in the forward fold. And if you want to, you can even bend over a little bit, but try to maintain that fire in the whole leg. So stay with the stretch. The stretch is like the stretch out of the comfort zone. The zone where you need, or the place where you need to find answers or find proper actions, like calling police or fire department, smashing glass windows, freeing dogs, just for example. Or don't let your own dog or husband sit in the car next time. Inhaling, come back up. And then just switch sides. So just pause for a minute, breathe. And feel maybe a little opening in your right leg and more stiffness in your left leg. And then take action. Engage the left leg, push your heel down, pull it in, lift the sit bones up and roll the left sit bone out to the side and widen the left hip out to the side. Also weite die linke Hüfte richtig nach außen, weg von der Mittellinie. And then pull your belly in and up and bend over, straighten the knee more. Stay in that scene and just breathe so that you don't freak out. Let your heart be soft, face soft, breath soft, stretch big. If you're not sure if you lost some engagement in your legs, just bend the knee again, push down the heel even more, widen out to the side even more. And if you could do that, it's probably a good answer that you lost some beforehand. Okay, and then come back up and step back into downward facing dog. Inhaling, look up. Exhaling, move forward, Uttanasana. Just feel the difference. Engage your legs, lift up halfway. Adho Uttanasana. Exhaling, fold. 2 more times. Strong legs. Maybe a little straighter knees than before. One last time. Inhaling, push down so you can come up all the way. Exhaling, hands to your heart and next to your hips. Stand on your, so which was the first side? Stand on your right foot. Ich würde sagen links erst, ne? Steh auf links, oder? And then bring your right foot up into Vrikshasana, tree pose. Haben wir tree pose mit dem Bein schon gemacht? Ach, guck mal, how practical. Wie praktisch. So engage the back of your knee and push your legs together and all the way up into your pelvis. reach up. Inhale deeply. And exhaling, find more length by pushing down, rooting down, and then reaching up even higher. Inhaling, bring the leg forward. Exhaling, hands to your chest or your heart. Bend the front, the standing knee. Lean forward and come into like a Waage, also so into a parallel to the floor form. You can bring your hands onto your standing knee and push your hands into your knee until you feel your core muscles engage more. Pull your right heel into your right buttocks. Lift your head up. Inhale deeply, and exhaling, extend the leg out to the side, to the back. Keep your core very, very strong, and then maybe lift one arm or both arms forward. So with a bent knee, very strong standing leg, find a Virabhadrasana 2, warrior pose. Strong core. If you're not sure, if you're really strong in your core, bring your hands back to your knee and push down harder until you feel something lift again, and then extend out. Inhaling, high lunge. Sit deep, come up. Exhaling, Parshvakonasana. Spin the back heel down. Bring your left hand down. Inhaling, right hand down to the outside of your mat. And then turn over into Vashisthasana. But this time, don't just lift the left leg, but bring it into tree pose. So engage the inside of your leg. Bring your hips up and then push down, root down through your hands and your hand, just one hand, and your foot, and reach out through your heart, your head, your hand. Okay, inhaling, bring your left foot forward into a high lunge. Come up. I know it's a pain. Come up. Push down, reach up. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Come forward. And then lift up again into warrior 1. Just remember the action of engaging your core. Reach out to the front and to the back. And exhaling, straighten the standing knee. Inhaling, come all the way up. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Deep inhale. Soft heart, strong legs. Lower your hands. Good. Switch sides. Tree pose. Left leg up. Instead of hyperextending your standing knee, it's very, very tempting. Das ist sehr gemütlich, das Knie so einrasten zu lassen. Bend your right knee a little bit and then pull all the way up through your legs, even the left leg, very engaged. Pull your legs together all the way up into the pelvis, lift your heart, lift your arms, and exhaling, root down from your pelvis into the earth so that your heart can lift up higher. Inhaling, hands to your heart, knee forward. Bend your standing knee. Engage. Keep your belly strong. Lean forward. Keep the back knee bent and bring your hands to your knee, to your standing knee. So really push down and come into like a cow pose. So push down so much until you're cat pose, cat. So until your upper back really rounds, and then try to straighten the back leg, left leg, but still push down with your hands so that your ribs really move into the body and into the back body, and then probably reach out with your hands forward. So without pushing down your hands, remember the strength in your core, and from that place, reach out forward and backward. Okay, find your mat. Come all the way up. High lunge, sit deep. But even when sitting deep, push down and rise up even more. Inhaling, spin your back heel down. Parshvakonasana. And then Vashisthasana on your left hand. Twist or turn. Turn legs. Lift the right knee up. Help yourself. Vrikshasana leg. Instead of being pushed towards the floor with gravity, push your hand and your foot down and lift up against the odds. And then bring your right arm next to your ear. Inhaling, right leg forward. Back to a high lunge. Hands to your heart. Keep the fire going. Push down, come up into Vrikshasana. No, Virabhadrasana 1 again. Right? Straighten your standing knee a little more if possible. Lift your head up, your heart up, and then come up. Exhaling, hands to your heart, legs still strong. Hands next to your side, breathe. Zum Glück ist es hier drin noch nicht so warm, ne? Inhaling, lift up. Exhaling, bow. Can you straighten your knees more without hyperextending the knees? Exhaling, downward facing dog. And then bring your knees down to the side and sit back into Balasana, child's pose. And drinking pose if you wish. Trinkpause. Niemand? Almost nobody? Three more breaths. So with your next inhalation, keep your knees where they are and come forward into all fours with wide knees. Bring your right knee under your right hip and yes, and then move your right knee forward until you are at the outside of your right hand. So grab your ankle and move it a little further to the side, to the left side, so that your right heel is now underneath your left groins, oder also die rechte Ferse unter deiner rechten Leiste. So maintain this. Das vordere Knie bleibt wie es ist, der Fuß bleibt wie er ist, but move your whole body back, apart from your front leg, abgesehen von deinem vorderen Bein. So now maybe your heel is in your or underneath your lower left belly. Okay. So come down onto your elbows. And if you don't engage your legs, it's just a very nice stretch in your right hips, right? Not nice or not so nice. More or less nice. Okay. So from here, was heißt denn Zehen hinten aufstellen? Nicht point your foot, but
Tuck your toes.
tuck?
Tuck.
Tuck your toes. Ah. Tuck your back toes. Also stellt den hinteren Fuß auf. And then close your eyes and soften your breath and feel your two knees on the ground. So, yeah, feel wherever your knees are and use muscles to push both knees down into the ground. Just push them down wherever they are. And then draw a line between your knees and pull your knees together as towards one another. I hope you feel that your hips square a little more, dass die Hüften sich so ein bisschen querer zur Matte ausrichten, wenn ihr das macht. Yeah, if your front knee pulls back, the back knee pushes forward, your hips square out a little bit. So keep this and come up onto your fingertips. So keep on pushing down and pulling in all the way into your hips, and from here even lift your lower belly up a little bit. And then come into your front thigh and bring your left hand into your left hip. So it's very comfortable to just, just sit in the, it's not comfortable probably, but it's easier to just sit in the pose and to push this hand down and try to let your legs do the work. So as if you could do this, okay? So come on really high. And then bring both hands to your hips. Pull your belly up, lift your heart, lift your hands if possible. So what we're doing now is not a big stretch, it's more of gaining strength, right? Hands down, push back into downward facing dog. Move your hips around a little bit, shake off your legs and feet. And then bring your right knee down and your left leg forward. So it's really far forward where your hands were or are. The knee is really out to the side, outside of your body, of your trunk, also außerhalb deines Rumpfes. Wirkt in der Mattenaußenkante. And then before we lean forward, we just move the back knee back. Step by step. Boy, you turn me step by step. Good, and then lean forward. And just take a moment to get comfortable. To breathe. Close your eyes. And then start pushing both knees down. And that should lift your pelvis up. Das sollte das Becken etwas anheben. If you push something down, something else needs to rise. That's Newton. Draw a line between two knees. The two knees, your two knees. Not some random knees in the room. Or in space, in time. And draw them together. So that's towards the midline and towards one another. Forward and towards the midline equals a diagonally. Good. So with this pulling in, lift your sit bones up both a little higher. And then draw your belly in and then come up onto your fingertips. Maintain the same engagement, the same fire in your legs. Pull them down and together so that you're really high. You know where we're going. We're not staying very long, but try to make it a little longer maybe. Come up. So if you can only hold it here, it's a great way to build strength. You can stay here. If you have the feeling that you can lift high enough to even lift your arms, to step outside your comfort zone to even grow a little more, do it. And then take 2 breaths. Soften your breath, soften your heart and your face. Push down, rise up even higher, even if your arms aren't up, and then bring your hands down. Don't collapse, just stay in your strength, straighten the back knee and push back into downward facing dog pose. Shake it off. if you need to. If not, don't. So, right leg forward again. Same pose. You can stay in your fingertips this time. Tuck the back toes under, also hintere Zehen aufstellen, so that you get a feeling for what your heel is doing. If your heel is just dropping out to the side, yes, and bring it more towards the midline. Your knee, the knee is behind your left hip and your foot is also behind the hip. So the back leg is just parallel to your mat. Johanna, kannst du den hinteren Fuß mehr zur Mittellinie bringen? Merkst du einen Unterschied? Good. So push down, pull in, and then lean forward a little bit, bend the back leg, and maybe you can take it with the opposite arm. Maybe take it with your, oh, that's tricky. Maybe not. Maybe use the same arm. Good. Push your knees down, pull them together, and then bring your heel into your left buttocks. So don't worry, you don't have to lift up. Just an additional stretch. Do you remember this squaring action, dieses Ausrichten des Beckens? Pull your knees together and square your hips more to the front. Good. And then switch sides. If you're like really, really strong, you can also lift your arms up if you want. I know your hips are getting tired by now. It's fine. But tiredness also brings more openness, hopefully. Repetition brings more openness. So push down, pull in, lift your sit bones up, and then bend. Just wanted to say, look at the disaster, but maybe it looks good. So if you don't take your armpit, but your hand, Eva, can you take the, sorry? Yeah, so if you take your hand and not your armpit, you can bring your elbow further back, and if you square then and then turn back forward, you have a bigger stretch and opening in your shoulder than doing it here. So it's just room for more opening. Good. Cool. Straighten the back knee, sit down on your left buttocks, and then just roll to the side into a seated wide-legged forward fold. Yes, instead of hyperextending your knees down, push your heels down. And without using your hands, roll your legs in a little bit and widen your sit bones apart, just like you did when we were standing. And then come forward a little bit. And if you're very far above above being vertical, also wenn ihr weit über der Senkrechten vorne seid, könnt ihr auch die Hände nach vorne bringen. But try to push your heels down all the time. Don't let your heels lift. If your heels lift, your knees are likely hyperextended. So if you're very, very far forward, you can reach out to your toes. And with your hands, push your toes, the whole foot into the heel. So really push the heel down with the help of your hands. And then straighten the knees completely. Don't use your hands to pull yourself forward. Use your hands to push down. That will also engage your core muscles. Feel that? Fühlt ihr das? Wenn ihr runterdrückt, das gleichzeitig den Bauch anspannt. Okay, instead of dropping your head forward, Try to lower your pubic bone, dein Schambein, more towards the ground. Unless you're very, very far down, then you can push your buttocks flesh further backwards and down. And with very far forward, I mean like almost flat. Root down through your legs and then stretch out through your spine a little further, out to the sides. Soften your gaze and your breath. Inhaling, engage more to come up. And then let's just try to bring the legs together and do like a parallel forward fold. Same here. Heels stay down. Or if you wish, you can turn around so that your heels are on the mat. Otherwise, it might hurt a little bit. So engage your legs, pull your kneecaps up, push your heels down, and then roll your pubic bone down, widen your sit bones. So the inner side of your legs roll down as you bend over. And if you can, use your hands to really root your heels and then straighten your knees completely. So that gave me that action to straighten the knees in a safe way, gave me a feeling of how much bend is left in my knees when I do Uttanasana, for example. Do you have the feeling that you straighten your knees in Uttanasana all the time? Not really, right? Kannst du noch mehr strecken, Agnes? Ja. Ist krass, ne, oder? Jay hat gesagt, kein Licht mehr unter der Kniekehle. Ja, wenn man sehr starke Waden hat, geht das nicht, aber ja, oder aber es ist trotzdem noch so ein Millimeter mehr möglich gewesen. So with more engagement, with more fire in our muscles, we even softened our tissue, even softened more into, or stretch out into a pose even more in a good way, in a helpful way. So inhaling, come back up. Okay, one last big engagement, really big engagement. Bend your knees so that your whole sole of the foot is down. And now for table pose, just don't come up. Also bitte nicht einfach nur hochkommen, but make it, let the action of the legs be skillful. Also lass die Stellung sich um die Beinrückseiten drehen. Push your feet down and pull them in. Zieht die Füße wirklich über die Matte isometrisch heran, bis ihr merkt, die Beinrückseite arbeitet. And maintain this as you come up. Don't just stand on your hands and feet, but pull your legs in, pull your feet in. And then strong core. Exhaling, push your hands down, lift your heart up even more. And exhaling, lower down. All the way onto the ground. Extend your arms out to the side. Move your hips out to the right a little bit, hüft ein bisschen nach rechts. And before you drop your knees, pull your knees in into your chest. Zieht die Knie zur Brust heran. Push immer ohne die Arme. Einfach Arme ablegen. Okay, and then push your knees together and roll both legs to the left. And if you can't bring both knees down, just let them be separate. That's fine. Die dürfen sich ruhig trennen, die Knie. Inhaling, widen your sit bones until there is a little more curve in your lower back. And exhaling, twist your inner body, your organs, your rib cage to the right. with a strong lower back. Engage your core muscles and bring your legs back up. Beine wieder nach oben. Lower your feet. Bring the hips back to the middle. And then out to the left. Hüften rüber nach links. Pull both knees in and together. And lower them down to the right. Don't just relax into this pose, don't, but engage your lower back muscles. Pull the lower back in so that your sit bones can widen, or even use your legs to widen the sit bones so that the lower back can move in more easily. And then twist everything above your belly button to the left. Even your ego. No, just kidding. So during this powerful twist at the end of the class, relax your face more. Relax your breath a little more. Very soft ujjayi. Skillfully engage where it's necessary as you come back up with your knees. Lower your feet, square your hips, and then reach out with your legs to the front, with your hands next to your body, and get ready. Oh, for 30 seconds of Shavasana, or maybe 2 minutes. with the same commitment you use to engage muscles, commit to soften, to relaxing, to digesting. Softening or coming to a more peaceful or more calm place. It's not just a practice, it's also a skillful action we can take if necessary, or we should take and can. So just to start moving and to getting up into a seated position, we don't need the same amount of strength we used for Vashisthasana, for example. So just softly start to deepen your breath and move around a little bit. And then roll to your side. Pause here. Take a breath. Then use the muscles you need to push yourself up. Organize your legs. Organize your spine, your hands. Oops, sorry. And then bring your hands to your heart. So we started this class with a feeling of, or with remembering an engagement, an enragement probably, and we transferred it into just muscle engagement, muscle strength. And at the same time we practice breathing softly, breathing calmly, softening our face and our hearts. Sometimes it needs a moment in between to pause and to just feel and take steps after that. So no need to yell at everybody at IKEA's. Maybe just kill the person outside later. Or not. Call the police. Exhale together, please. Very softly inhale for one big Om. Bow to your heart if you wish. Bow to all the teaching life can give us, even some puppy or some fellow student. Namaste. Thank you very much for today. I hope you don't just feel exhausted, but also stretched out a little bit. Hoffentlich. Nicht? Gut, dann wünsche ich euch noch 2 weitere schöne Sommertage. Und bis bald. Kitos? Was ist denn Kitos? Hä? Was ist Kitos? Ah. Oh. Oh. Britta schreibt, keine Energie mehr da, um so wütend zu sein wie vorhin. Wer hat das denn mit dem Kitos geschrieben? Ah, Frau Pütter. Frau Pütter hat entweder gegoogelt oder weiß das. Oh. Viele Grüße zurück. Tschüss.
Tschüss.